everyone. So I am currently trekking through the woods, making my way down here to the Merrimack River. Today I'm going to be building a couple terrariums. And I chose river-based terrariums just because they seem like they're the easiest to build, and they have the most I guess you'd say, well, not just living creatures, but moving living creatures. So I'm trekking down here so I can get some mud and get these things topped off. I've got a couple jars like this. I don't know, that may be 2-liter jars. So if I can make it through here without busting my ass. Now my plan is to get about 1.5 to 2 inches of mud in the bottom. Probably some some rocks, some sticks, various things like that. Obviously some algae. One thing I've seen though that shouldn't matter is I shouldn't have to look for any critters. They should be pretty much just all in the mud. Okay, I think that might work. See, there's the river over there. Then you have channels that kind of come along once it floods. Looks like I got a dam going. Now, I was looking for one of these offshoots, because like I said, the main river's over there. But you can get this body of land right here, and the water just kind of goes up in there. And it's nice still water. You're not going to find everything is washed downstream, so that should mean that there's plenty of algae and everything else here. So let me dig this up, and I'll pick up the phone again. I've let these jars settle out for I don't know, about 8 hours or so. And I could say one thing for sure, there's a lot more sand in here than I wanted. Now, this one over here, let's see if it'll focus. There's a bunch of bubbles forming at the bottom, which is a very good sign that you got some algae growth going. And I had seen a snail dig itself out of the sand. You see that little trench. And it's in here somewhere. I've also seen a lot of little bugs and stuff in here. That's a root, to something that I had grabbed with it. I don't know. I don't see the snail, but it was a pretty big shell. It's surprising that it could bury itself like that, because I'm not seeing it. It has to have been, had to have buried itself. This one, on the other hand, appears to be rather empty, dull, and dead. I've been watching it for a bit, and I don't see anything at all moving. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and let them both sit for, I don't know, a week or two. This one I don't have a good feeling for, so chances are, if it does fail, what I'll do is dump it out, and instead of going to the river, there is a lake or a pond, a couple in mind, that I could go to get some more sediment from and try to make a seal terrarium out of that. So it has been a little over a week now, and the 2 jars here, one of them appears to have done pretty much nothing. It looks essentially exactly the same as when I brought it home. This one, however, you can see there's a lot more stuff along the edges of the glass. I saw 2 big snails in here, not just one. If you watch, you can see little critters and bugs going around in there. I'm seeing a little tiny bit of algae growth, but not a ton, which kind of worries me a little bit. But hopefully we'll see a bunch here before too long. This one I'm going to dump out, and I'm going to go get another jar full, but instead of going to the river, I'm going to go to a local lake and get a jar full from there. And that way I have 2 different little water biomes here. And hopefully the lake one will take off better than this one has. Once I get it home and everything is settled out, I will go ahead and pick up the video again. Okay, so this is the local lake that I'm going to take a couple scoops from and put into the jar. So I wanted to give an update on these single scoop, or like scoop in terraria jars. I don't know what terrarium jars, I don't know what you would really call them, but they're just terrariums. I went and scooped stuff out out of the lake here and the river here and just sealed it up and seeing if everything would live. Here in the jar that I got the water from the lake, you can see it's still kind of cloudy. I guess they used clay or something, but it took, I don't know, a month for that to not be so cloudy. But we got a little bit of grass growing in there. And as you can see right here, we got a little snail. Looks like a little bit of algae growing everywhere in there. And there's also a bunch of little tiny bugs just swimming around in there. And then in the river jar, I don't know how well this is going to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. You see how much algae is growing. There's also some stuff up at the top growing all the way up there. But in this one, I don't know if I can get it to focus, find some. There's all kinds of little critters swimming around in here. All kinds of just random little ones. I can't even identify them. A couple of them look like little crawdads. But this is certainly the most vibrant. This has got the most life swimming around in it.